Good morning, I'm Mabel Jung, and you're watching the World Healthcare Congress Interview Zone. I'm so pleased to have Josh Stevens here. He is the CEO of Keas, a company that is an expert in creating a culture of wellness. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Josh, what are some of the basic rules of trying to create a culture of wellness?
In order to create a culture of wellness, we see there are two foundations for success. First, a wellness culture has to be comprehensive, and it has to be in line, inclusive with the workflow of day-to-day lives. Comprehensive in the sense that we see a lot of wellness programs that are very narrow in focus. They're either just nutrition, or they're just dieting, or they're just taking steps every day, or they're just a mind and body content solution. Keas looks at all of these things, so we can offer a comprehensive solution. Also, the solution has to create a culture that sticks, has to be integrated into the workflow of day-to-day life, has to be integrated with mealtime, has to be integrated with the commute, has to be integrated with what people would normally do so that you can actually bring wellness into every part of your workday. And that's often forgotten in most wellness programs we see in the marketplace.
Do you think people like that sort of consistent follow-up? They need that babysitter to really keep them on the right track?
I would never say the babysitter approach is the right approach. Rather, we would say it's more of an incenting approach. How do you make wellness entertaining and fun? What we know is if it's fun and social, folks will actually participate. But if it's a nagging babysitter, school mom approach, it will never work.
Okay. We have seen all types of incentives over the years, cash for miles, for weight loss, even prizes, games, really. But you say a comprehensive approach. Give me an example of what that would mean for a company, a small company.
Sure. So to take a small company, how do you actually set a program that works for the cafeteria and for the approach to eating every day, for how folks are actually taking walking meetings and integrating health and wellness into their day-to-day workflow, and also how do you incorporate programming after work in terms of taking classes and enrichment and education? Are all those things part of the program? If they're not, we know that the company is missing some of the opportunities. So too, cash as an incentive, we know isn't necessarily the trick that's going to work. Cash is great at driving transactional-based events, such as getting a flu shot or taking a biometric screening. But cash doesn't actually drive behavior change. What drives behavior change is the fun and social nature of a program that folks want to participate in. And for small companies particularly, if the program is social, if it's team-based, that's what gets folks to stick, and that's what we do at Keas.
How do you make it social?
Well, so within our program at Keas, to make the program social, first of all, it's online, so that everyone can participate through the smartphone or through their desktop computer. And in order to earn the incentives and rewards in the program, you actually have to join a team. And we have teams of 6, and those are large enough to have activity in the team to keep things moving, but small enough so that you can actually keep everyone accountable. And in this way, if the team isn't participating with every member doing what they're supposed to do, the team can't win its incentives and prizes as a team. So that social nature draws people in to participate because you're now on a team that you owe to each other, not just to yourself, accomplishing your goals. We know that when you're on a team, you're 6 times more likely to be engaged.
Okay. America is home to some of the most unfit people in the world. Is it too late to start people on a path to wellness in adulthood, or does it really need to start earlier?
It's never too late to start on a path to wellness. In fact, what we really try to do at Keas is engage consumers in wherever they are on their wellness journey. And so tiny steps, tiny changes in behavior every day can have dramatic results over time. And this can include not going to the gym, for example, which we know is a big step for a lot of people, but just taking a walking meeting every day. Or it could be taking fried foods out of your diet. Instead of having to have a wholesale diet, why not just stop having fried foods and have more greens every day? These kinds of tiny changes have dramatic impact over time, and by making the changes and the change management for employees easy to understand, habit forming, meaning they can do it every day, and ultimately fun and social, meaning I can not only do this for myself, I can do this with other people. I can go to the cafeteria and we can together take the healthy choice. We can have a walking meeting together. We can actually choose to plan out what we're going to do after work that's going to be to our best interest in our health. By actually participating as a group, we can actually hold each other accountable.
Can you tell me how Keas becomes involved in a company? You have Keas representatives come to a company and perhaps do some training, or how does it work?
So we're a SaaS solution. We roll out entirely through the browser and through the smartphone. We're typically endorsed by the C-suite of a company. When we go to since we sell to employers, the first criteria we look for are a C-level group of executives who actually want to embrace the culture of wellness themselves. It starts from the top. If the executives in the company don't care about this, if this isn't part of a corporate priority for the firm, it's going to be very hard to have it come from the bottom up. So while we can bring a program that is fun and social for the employees, ultimately it has to be endorsed by the executive team, who are also participating on teams themselves and are walking the talk and participating every day, and everyone else can see that in the online program.
Right, absolutely. So there must be a lot of opportunities right now as the healthcare landscape is changing. People are looking for solutions that they can talk about on the exchanges coming up in October. Do you see this as a great marketplace for what you do?
We do. The ACA, now that the ACA is here, we see employers in 2013 preparing for how to incorporate wellness in their 2014 plans. This is largely because penalties will kick in for employers if they don't have a wellness program with incentives in place in 2014. We think the exchanges will be something that will really affect larger employers, which is where we're playing in the market, more closer to 2016, 2017. But in the short run, employers have to have an answer to how are you driving a culture of wellness that actually promotes healthy change of behavior and provides incentives for that. And so now this is really where all the planning is now beginning of 2013.
Okay, well that's very exciting. Josh, is there anything that I've missed about Keas?
I'd say that the only thing we're seeing in the market that where there's an opportunity is companies are often focused on wellness from a perspective of penalties versus incentives. We see a lot of employers in the market focused on how do they actually raise premiums on employees for not doing what they're supposed to do versus providing carrots instead of using the stick. And we know that when you have a culture of penalties to actually change behavior typically doesn't change. What it often does is just promotes a culture of penalty avoidance and check the box wellness. And so what we're really trying to help employers see is that by bringing incentives to the market in terms of making the biggest incentives that work are free. By making it fun and social, employers can actually create a culture that sticks because everyone likes doing things that are fun. Most people like doing things that are social, and then cash can really be the third incentive, which can be relied on less and less to drive certain transactional events, but to create the culture of stickiness day in, day out, it's got to be fun and social.
A creative approach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Josh Stevens, thank you. And I'm Mabel Jong. Thanks so much for watching.